failure. Shall I start over? I'll start over. Anyway, we're recording it now, so I'm going to start over. Again, my name is Marty. I'm 61 years old. I am a grandfather. My grandchildren live with me. I've been online for 17 years, and I got online just like everyone else, or a lot of people, or millions of people, to make a little extra income. In fact, I wanted to make a walk-away income. That was my goal from the beginning. And I made pretty good money when I was working, so I wanted to replace that if it was possible. And I know it's possible because some people were doing it. Anyway, I joined whatever business it was at the time, 2004, and found out that it's not quite what they said it was. It's not as easy. There's a lot of hurdles that you don't know up front. And then there's that dreaded monthly subscription. So I would say for the first 8 years, I lost money, and sometimes a lot of money. Because why? You get in and they tell you, well, you need to do this, and you do it, and that costs you 50. And when you're done, they say, okay, you're almost there. Now you need to do this, and you do it, and it's another 500. Anyway, this went on and on and on and on. And what I found out was the same 2 or 3% are doing well, walking across stage with a big check. And a lot of the times it's the same people in the new company or the new business I joined. Why? Because the business folded, or they went out of business because the numbers don't add up. It just wasn't a legitimate business. And this gets very frustrating. So about, I don't know, the 8th or 9th year, I said, I'm going to have to learn how to drive traffic. When I mean traffic, I mean how to get people to whatever it is I'm selling, whether it's a affiliate or it's MLM or even email marketing, whatever it is. You have to be able to get traffic to and traffic means people, eyes, customers to whatever it is you're selling. And that wasn't easy. It costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of time. And there's a lot of testing. Does this work? No. Does this work? No. And every time you do a test, it costs you money. No test is free. Testing costs money, whatever you're doing. Whether it's a solo ad, whether you're doing Facebook paid ads, all of it's money. So eventually, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I met Mike Ellis and Dan Street. Mike's here, Dan's not. And I teamed up with them, and they had skills I didn't. So between the three of us, we did very, very well at building a team. Started to make a little money. Then what would happen? The company disappear. Why? We don't even know. Or you get in, and the worst thing of all for us was, even if we started to do well, we couldn't bring anybody with us. You might have a massive team and you tell them you're going to help them. It's not true. These gurus that tell you, I'm going to help you be successful, follow me, I'll make you fishers of men or whatever. No, it just doesn't happen that way. Why? Because what am I running into now? Now I'm running into me 8 years prior that don't have any skills. And it's not their fault. They don't have the time or whatever. Some people are single parents. They're working 2.5 jobs. They don't have all this time to build the skills it takes to drive this so-called human traffic to your site with your eyes. To make this very clear, Charles Osong, who has 30 years experience in this field and is going to explain to you in very detailed way to help you understand exactly what we're talking about. And let me tell you something before I turn it over to Charles. This is 100% automated, and the best of all, when I found out about it 2.5 years ago, I found out through Red here, he's here, and I trusted him and Peter Rogers. And the neatest thing about it was anybody, anywhere with zero experience will be successful in this business. That blew me away. And the company's not going anywhere. The products are top notch, in high demand today. They're not some kind of widget or something you try to promote that nobody ever heard of. It's not a lotion. It's not a potion. It's not going to make you tall, fat, make your skin look better. It is flat out top-notch digital products. And that's what Mr. Osong is going to go over. So right now I want to turn it over to Charles Osong. And like I said, #1 authority on this type of products, and the experience is unbelievable. 30 years experience in this field of technology and digital products. And he's going to break it down for you step by step where you can understand exactly what this is all about. And when he's done, we'll take questions. And the other thing, I want to make it very clear for everybody, we're not pressuring anybody because we don't need to. If something's good and it works, you don't need to pressure anybody. If you want a copy of this webinar, I'll put a thing in the chat where you can email me and I'll send it to you so you can look at it in your spare time. Now I want to turn it over to the man of the hour, Charles Osong, who can explain this in great detail, step by step, so you'll leave here and go, oh my God, this is what I want. Mr. Charles Osong, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Marty, for all you do for the introduction. I'm humbled to be working with you guys. I also want to thank Larry for doing such a good job welcoming our guests. We value your services. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that we do have quite a bit of guests here today. I see that we're about 230 or so. Hopefully at least 50 of you are guests. But welcome to the founders as well for coming to support your guests. So if you're a guest here today, you are in for a big treat because you're going to be hearing about a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. And I have the task of bringing this to you. The way I do that is I just tell you my story. Hopefully you can resonate with that story. And like Marty just said, I have been in the industry, in the IT industry, by the way, for more than 3 decades. I've worked sometimes 2 jobs just to make ends meet. But even then, making relatively good money, I always needed extra income. Why? Because I have a big family in the United States and outside of the United States. But I was mostly looking for passive residual income because long time ago, decades ago, I stumbled upon the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people on earth, who said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. That statement has always resonated with me. So I was looking for passive money, passive income. I decided to tender my resignation just about 4.5 years ago from corporate America. And I recall a colleague of mine saying to me, Charles, you are very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have been working for so long, but can't seem to save up the kind of money that can retire me happily. And that's why I'm tendering my resignation. I have to do things another way. There's got to be a better way. So I quit working. I opened myself a small office in Maryland, in the United States. And just over 2.5 years ago, a trusted friend of mine walked into my office and said to me, Charles, I have an opportunity to present to you. And just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is this: you bring them an opportunity. They will examine it. They will take a look at it before making a decision. So I pretended to be like one of them that day. And I told my friend, I will be looking at it. I will be taking a look. But first, I have 3 questions. Let's start off prerequisites before we move on. It's going to save you time. save me time, or both? Question number one, this opportunity that you are bringing to me today, am I going to be able to make money if I cannot recruit? If I cannot sell to even one person, am I still going to make money? And when I say money, I mean real money. Enough money to give me financial freedom. If you recall, I was retired, so I had time freedom, plenty of time. But I was still looking for that very elusive financial freedom, because when you have both time and financial freedom, that is when you can say you have total freedom. So I asked my friend that day, with this opportunity, if I cannot recruit, because I'm a human being like most people, we don't know how to recruit, am I going to be able to make that kind of money? He looked up at me and said, Charles, believe me, without talking to one person, you'll make enough money to leave a legacy to your children, your children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said, let's go to question number two. With this opportunity, am I going to have to come out of pocket every month in, month out, to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it ownership. Am I going to have to pay a monthly ownership? He said to me, Charles, nope. Once this company launches, you come out of pocket once and you are done. Money is a one-way street from that company to your bank account. I felt like breakdancing. I said, let's go to the third and final question. The last, but certainly not the least. Does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind, you and I, we need on a daily basis. We don't have it, life is miserable. It's that simple. Think about your cell phone. Think about internet access, your Wi-Fi in this digital day and age. If you don't have that, I bet you some of us will even forgo meals just to get that. So I asked my friend, does this company have legitimate, viable products? And by the way, a company with no viable products is just a time bomb. Matter of time before it falls. Been there, done that. So my friend said to me, Charles, you have an IT background, an extensive one. Why don't you go take a look at the products? I said, no problem. I did, and came back to him. And I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we're going to have an internet quake, a shakeup of the internet, just like the earthquake. But we're also going to have to wait a long time, maybe 5 years, maybe more. My friend did not like that, because he's like all of us, who like to make money today, who like instant gratification. And he said to me, Charles, why would you say that? Why do we have to wait that long? I said, don't worry. You told me to take a look at the products. I did. And I understand what they're trying to do. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of that development process. AI, my friends, is a disruptive technology. What do I mean by that? A technology that comes every once in a while. It'll change our lives. In other words, it'll disrupt the way we do things, such as the internet, blockchain. Now, AI is the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. For those of you who are familiar with software development, you agree with me that that is time consuming. And that's why I told my friend, we're going to have to buckle up and just enjoy the roller coaster. But I also told him, I don't care how long it takes. I want to be part of this company right now. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life. Blockchain, Bitcoin is one of them. I wasn't going to miss out on this one. Not for any length of time, not at any cost. So I also asked him, how much is it going to cost me to be part of this company today? And I was thinking some huge amount of money, maybe $20,000, maybe more. And I had my credit card in my pocket. In the United States, thankfully, we do not need cash. All you need are some plastics. And I had a few of those at the time. But my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, don't worry. All you're going to need is $97. $97. I looked at him. I was flabbergasted. I was discombobulated. I thought he was just messing with me. I said, my friend, are you kidding me? He said, nope, I'm dead serious. I said, okay, here's my card. Put it on there. By the time we were done, it had costed me just $102. So yes, there is a $5 fee that banks will charge you when you use a credit or debit card. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I do not have 5 years or more to be monitoring this business. I've got to put food on the table. So you call me, you text me, you email me, do whatever it takes, get me informed so I can get more involved. He said, sure. 8 months later, he gave me a call. Charles, the CEO of this company wants to talk to all of us in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? And I said, why not? 1 week later, I hopped on the phone, not phone call, on a Zoom, just like this. And there was Mr. Ash Mofara. Mr. Ash Mofara is the CEO of this company. Mr. Ash Mofara, for those of us who have been founders for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, we have quite a few geniuses out there. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, just to name a few. All of these guys have the brains, but do they have the heart? As you come to join our company, you will find out that not only does our CEO have the brains, but he also has the heart. And that is why most of us leaders resonate with him very well. But mind you, I was listening to Mr. Mofara for the very first time. And I hopped on the webinar and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch than ever. So I was confused by this statement. I'm saying to myself, it was just 8 months ago, I told my friend, we are going to be waiting for a very long time. All of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch. What does he mean? I do know what they're trying to do. So whom is he kidding? But what that statement did, it got my attention. I was listening keenly. And he went on, we have gone to Bangalore in India, and we have leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. Now, my friends, if you look behind me, you're gonna see a building that says OnPassive. It's also behind Marty, even also behind Julie. Now, this is a brand new building. OnPassive has leased this building for over 10 years period, close to 10 years. And this was done December of 2020. So at the time, this building was non-existent. Mr. Mofara had gone to Bangalore. He said he leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. He had hired 200 engineers. And these engineers are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. So now in my head, I'm thinking, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20, maybe 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, 9, maybe 10 hours a day. So Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are in IT, you agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they're not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. They are working 24/7. They are taking turns to make sure this baby is born. So now in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2-3 years what is scheduled to take 5-6 years. So my belief factor went off the roof, and I'm listening. And Mr. Mofara went on. Some of you founding members have been unethical, and we're going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. And I'm going to let Mr. Redfern talk to you about that later on. But he said, when you see these NDAs, you better sign them up, because it's the only way you can participate in this great company. 2 months later, came back, called another meeting. Folks, NDAs are out. Go sign them up. I looked at this very long document, and I can assure you I'm not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination. But it occurred to me at that time that this is serious. I looked at the time, money, energy spent from the time I had joined up until then, and I said, this is that time. I told my friend to call me, text me, email me. This is that time I need to get involved. And I saw how this business is going to change the world. And I became a man on a mission. I said to myself, I am going to talk to anybody who has ears to listen. I do my part. You listen, great. You don't listen, it's okay. I've done my part. Like Marty said earlier, we're not here to convince anybody. We'll give you the information, you make a decision. With or without you, we are all set. Because everybody in this company, you come in, you will succeed without talking even to one person, like I said earlier. So I called up a few friends to my office. I said, listen, we are going to have to spread the word massively. And what's the best way? We brainstormed, came up with Zoom. Thanks to technology with Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a smartphone, a laptop, an iPad, doesn't matter. You have internet access and you are on. So what is this company I'm talking to you about? Again, behind me, it says OnPassive. That's the name of the company. And that name was not given by chance. This is a passive opportunity, which means when we launch, You pay one little small amount of money and you can go on vacation. The engineers, the staff members are going to be working on your behalf, and that money will get into your bank account passively with you folding your arms. Our CEO and president, Mr. Mofara, that I just mentioned to you a few moments ago, graduated with a master's in e-commerce, went back to Harvard, did some more studies on how to do businesses online. This guy has a knack for artificial intelligence, AI, that disruptive technology I just mentioned to you a few moments ago. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. What is traffic? We are going to spend a couple moments to talk about traffic, because traffic is the single reason I can dream today. You all can dream today. All of us here, we are here because of traffic. It's a single differentiator between OnPassive and any other company that you've seen or heard. So what is this traffic? It is a fundamental element in any business. Doesn't matter whether that business is online or offline. So let's start with the offline part of it, because most of us, we have an age, we are more used to offline businesses. So let's say you have a business offline, and it can be any business. It can be a car dealership, it can be a barber shop, a hair salon. But let's just say it is a restaurant, only because I love food, and I know each and every one of us has to eat. So you have a restaurant, and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food. In fact, same chef, only different location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is hidden. It's located in a back alley. What's the difference? Your restaurant is going to fare better than mine. And here's why. People are going to come to that shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping. Whatever it is that brings them to the shopping mall, they will eventually get hungry. Look up, spot your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, they're going to have to know that it is there. They're going to have to leave their homes deliberately just to go there. Because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what is traffic? People, customers coming in and out of your business. That's it. Now, what about online? What is traffic online? But before I go there, I want to say this. In this digital day and age, if you have a business offline, like the restaurant I just talked about, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, you're going to be smoked by your competition. Yes. So what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying is this. It is true that we do have millions upon millions of businesses offline. But it is also true that we have more businesses online than we do offline. Billions upon billions of them. Because a business online must not have an offline representation. Typical example, Amazon. Now, we also have something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online to search for something, a TV, for example, and somebody comes and whispers on your ears, go to charlesoson.com. And the moment you go there, all you see are TVs, all sorts of TVs, all colors, all prices, your chances of buying very high. So that store just got itself a targeted traffic, a customer looking for what they offer. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Ash Mofara, is the best in this game of driving targeted traffic. He proved himself. Upon graduation, he joined a few businesses, got involved with them, send them traffic, send them customers, send them affiliates. Yes, he made some millions doing that. And these companies also made tons of money. But unfortunately, most of them went out of business. Why? I told you guys earlier, without legitimate viable products, any business is just a time bomb. So most of these companies did not have viable products. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, are going to come together and say, listen, we're going to have to stop doing this. We're going to have to stop sending people, customers, to businesses that may eventually go out. We're going to start our own. We're going to have legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to have founding members, you and I. We will drive traffic to them. They are going to make money. We are going to make money. And all of us are happy. And that's the birth of OnPassive. And that's why I said earlier, because of traffic, all of us can dream. So over 3 years ago, Mr. Mofara and his friends are going to sit down and they're going to say, you know what? We are starting our own business. We have close to 8 billion people on earth. And at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million of those people are online. Now, over 3 years ago, there was no pandemic, no COVID-19. So 7 million people then, you can imagine what it is today, a lot more. But 7 million is still a lot. So what are these people looking for? What kind of services do they want? So we can provide them. Some of us online, we are doing online banking. I know that. I do that sometimes twice a day. And I know a bunch of you do that as well. When we do these things, there are people online, there are companies online that monetize on our services. So these guys are going to say, with AI at the back of our hands, we can do that too, even better. Some of us online are on our favorite social media platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We are sending texts, photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Guess what we're doing? It is called community. Now, if you come to join us, our community is close to 840,000 and growing by the second. So these guys are going to say, we can do that too. We can do even better. And that's what we're doing. Some of us online, we're doing e-commerce, email marketing, drop shipping, bulk emailing. There are people online that make 6- and 7-figure income yearly just doing email marketing. I know that because I thought about that once upon a time. Or these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can do all of that even better, including autoresponder, even better. Some of us online are doing what? Video conferencing. If you can see me, or you can hear me, or both, it means you went to Zoom, put in some ID, and there you are. We are video conferencing. And believe it or not, the founders of Zoom, as we speak, Eric Wan and his friends, they are monetizing on our services. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, we have Cisco WebEx, Google Hangouts, Microsoft Teams, a plethora of more than 25 of them making serious money, especially ever since the advent of COVID-19. But Zoom is the most popular. Why? Because it is the most user-friendly. But not for long, my friends. You wait until OnPassive launches its own webinar platform. We call it OConnect. Some of us that have been here for a while, we've had a preview to see a sneak peek of it. It is clearer, 3D, end-to-end encrypted, more secure, more scalable, and above all, guess what? Lower price point, like my friend Mike Ellis says. It is more affordable. But let's focus on Zoom for now, because it is still their day until we launch. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants a day. April 1st, 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to well over 300 million participants a day. You can imagine what it is today. And my friend, you guys know why. Every university, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. November 30th, 2020, Forbes magazine came out and said Zoom had made more profits than ExxonMobil, a decades-old American oil company. That tells you where the world is going. I have seen pastors, men of God, women of God, having virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual weddings, virtual all kinds of stuff. Guess what? The world is going virtual. We cannot deny that. And OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another virtual product, VPN, Virtual Private Network. What is that? Just a fancy name. It's a fancy name for a tunnel. A tunnel that cuts across a major network, such as the internet, and it provides for privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can have privacy. Their employees can log onto corporate networks without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Now, ever since the pandemic, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Facebook, Microsoft, Google, even the federal government asking employees to work from home. What does that mean? That means companies are monetizing on these services. OnPassive, these guys are going to say, you know what? We are going to have our own AI-driven from start to finish, super smart, more scalable, more secure, end-to-end encrypted, and above all, guess what? More affordable. Let me just assure you guys, when OnPassive launches, the big players in this VPN space, like Cisco networks, they are going to know there's a new sheriff in town, believe me. Let's talk about another service, search engine optimization. What is that? SEO. That's a mouthful, isn't it? A lot of us will hear of search engines. We know of Yahoo. We know of Bing. And for those of us Apple enthusiasts, we know of Safari. And everybody should know of Google. It's so popular, it has become a household name. You can go to Google 10 times a day, 100 times a day to search for something. It is free. You can go to Google to get a Gmail account, 1, 10, 20, free of charge. You can even go there to get a voice over IP phone number free of charge. So it sounds like everything is free, right? Everything is free in Facebook. Everything is free in Google. Yet these technical giants are amassing billions upon billions of dollars, multiple billions. So here is a multi-billion-dollar question I've got for you. How do they make money? How does Google make money? Most of us don't know. And frankly, most of us don't even care because it is none of our business. But let me tell you the main way that Google makes money, through SEO. And let me just explain to you how it works, because OnPassive is going to help us make money the same way. If you go to Google to search for something, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a phone, it can be a watch, it can be a camera. I want it to be a camera only because I do have an online store and I do market my cameras through Google. You go to Google today, search for cameras, a bunch of them are going to pop up. One of them from my store. And if you click on that camera from my store, guess what happens? Google charges me at the end of the month. You don't have to buy it. They call it pay-per-click. So what does Google say? You advertise something through us, and the customer comes looking for that item. We are going to optimize our search, hence search engine optimization. We will bring that item to the top. Why not? You've paid us, right? And once they click on it, they are due. They got to pay. So they've got my credit card on their file. At the end of the month, they're going to tally up how many clicks go to my store, and they just bill me. I have no choice. I also pay Microsoft. Why? Microsoft bought over a company called Bing. I pay them every month. I pay a company called GoDaddy. Why am I paying them? DNS, domain name service. Every business online has to have a domain name. So when you hear xss.com, .net, .info, guess what? They are all paying for domain names. Somebody is monetizing. And these guys at OnPassive, as you will find out, we're going to have our own domain hosting, AI-driven, and we are going to monetize on it. Yes, we are going to have our own SEO, AI-driven from start to finish, super smart. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you are headed. So let me tell you this, when OnPassive launches, the big players in this SEO space, like Google, Yahoo, they are going to know there's a new kid on the block, I can assure you. Now, these are all services that OnPassive is putting together. So what am I doing? I'm giving you the services that OnPassive is putting together. Many of them, more than 50 of them. I'm giving you the ones that you and I use on a daily basis, whether we know it or not. But there are more. E-learning, tracking applications, accounting applications, human resources, bunch of them. Okay? So what is OnPassive doing? OnPassive says, simple. If you're an individual, you're a business person, small or big, online, you need something, we have got it for you. Under one umbrella, same roof, under one roof. In IT, we'll call it SSO, single sign-on. And here's a big word for you today, my friends. They're all integrated, big, huge. No company on earth has ever succeeded in doing that. But we are OnPassive. We are 99% there. This is value. I told you guys earlier, with OnPassive, you don't have to recruit to make money. With OnPassive, you don't have to come out of pocket month in, month out to pay some auto ship. With OnPassive, we have the best, legitimate, viable digital products on this day and age. You find a company out there that has all three of these things, and I will promise you, you contact me and I will be your first customer. That's a promise. That's value we've got, And now, what does it take to become a founding member of this company that is still in pre-launch, but not for long? Okay, I am going to hand over to my friend, partner, Mr. Red Redfern, who has been with OnPassive almost since the inception, from the beginning. Mr. Red Redfern has total understanding of this business. He is going to explain to you what it takes to become a founder today with this company before it gets too late. Over to you, Red.
Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you, Marty, as well, for your intro at the beginning. I say the same thing every single week, and every time I hear anybody talking about OnPassive, and when they put it out like you have, Charles, in-depth analysis of OnPassive, what it's going to do for new people joining, I just want to join all over again. Same as you, Charles. I've got multiple accounts because I just can't help myself, because I know what is coming. So you've heard Charles, you've got a little inkling about the business. It really has pricked your ears up, and you want to jump in with us to become a founder. So what do you have to do? Well, pretty simple, really. The person who has invited you here today, okay, you get back in contact with them and you say to that person, yeah, I'm really interested. It's something I want to look more into. I want to jump on board. And what do I have to do? Well, for a start, they will give you a thing called a registration link. And once you have put your first name, your surname, and your email address in, then it will send that off. It will then pop up the payment page. Now, at the moment, it is costing $97 US, okay, to join us. You can pay by Visa or debit card. There is a £5 admin fee from the bank, so it'll cost you in total $102 US. We recommend you use this means of payment because it's instant and you'll get the notification straight away. And the other actual thing to remember is that you're also backed by the Visa and MasterCard guarantee as well, to give yourself a little bit more security if you're of mind of that. But no need to worry, folks, because one of the things that Charles said in his presentation was that we are completely legal and legitimate. So once you have paid, you've signed up, there is other methods of paying as well, cryptocurrency being one, and others depending on what country you are in. Once you've signed up, okay, you then log back in again. And remember, Charles mentioned a thing called an NDA. This is the non-disclosure agreement. Okay, it is a long document. It is 5 pages long. There's a load of legal terminology in there and do's and don'ts. Now, this is here for 2 reasons, guys. The 2 reasons it's there for is, 1, to protect the company, okay? And the other is to protect you guys, the consumer. It is there for both of our benefits. It means that the company is serious about this endeavor, this project that they have put together. And it also, they want you, the consumer, to be serious about this business as well. So it's in both of us to be serious about this business and have this NDA. So read all the way down to the bottom. You can actually print it off if you want to and take it to a professional to read over. That's entirely up to you. But at the bottom, there is 2 check boxes. Tick those 2 check boxes, and then there's a very large box which you have to sign. If you have a smart device, mobile phone, tablet, etc., you can write your signature with your finger. If you haven't got one of those, you can digitally sign it on a laptop or a desktop. Once you've done that, sign back in again, and you will have access to what we call your back office. This is where a lot of founders only information is, and it's something I cannot tell you about on this webinar. So that's the very first out-of-pocket payment you will have to make. There is one other payment as well, guys. This is when we launch to the world to become public. Remember, this presentation is all about you joining us as a founder, a partner of OnPassive. But when we launch to the world, which is going to be this year and very, very shortly, by the way, okay, we are going to be a customer-based business. This means people will physically be buying our digital products and services of OnPassive. Guess what happens? This is where the magic happens. This is where we get paid. This is where we get our commissions. They are placed underneath us in our organization, and we get a small commission from every single one of them underneath us. Okay, and this amount, when we launch the world, is going to cost you around about $250, there or thereabouts, maybe up a little bit, maybe down a bit. So if you have in your head, I'm only ever going to pay twice out of pocket, a grand total of around $350, then you're good to go. So once you have done that, that's it. You know what you've had to pay. After that, you do not have to pay out of pocket ever again, because OnPassive is going to do everything for you. 100% automated, guaranteed. Now, before I hand it back over to Larry and Charles, just want to leave you with a couple of little things here. Now, Charles mentioned one of the massive players online at the moment that hasn't got a offline presence, and that was Amazon. They are the largest online company and probably the largest company in the world now. I don't know, but one thing I do know is that Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. He likes to keep his money for him. In fact, he's been that arrogant. When he went to space and he came back down again, the first words out of his mouth was, I would like to thank my customers and my employees for paying me to be able to do this. The arrogance of this man is bewildering. I cannot understand why he wants to be so rich. But we have a man with a heart. We have a CEO who wants us to succeed online. We know that he is going to give us the foundership between anything between 50 and 65% of the company's earnings back to us. Now, Jeff Bezos, who doesn't like giving his money away, in his inception, since Amazon was launched 18 years ago, did you know that 40,000 millionaires are being produced from Amazon? It's unbelievable. Just imagine how many millionaires will be coming out of OnPassive in the future. You have got a $97 decision today to join us as an OnPassive founder and partner in OnPassive. Okay, do not let this opportunity pass you by. If I was to tell you that you could be a founder of Microsoft, of Amazon, of Google, of Apple, of Facebook, would you jump in today knowing what you know? Well, the answer to that is yes, you would. You have got the opportunity to partner us as a founder in this company, which is going to be the next mega online giant. So jump in. Now, the last thing I'm going to leave you with before I hand it over is decisions. Your decision today will have an impact on you, your family, and your friends around you in 2 years' time. We sincerely hope that you make the right $97 decision today and join us on this amazing OnPassive journey to become a founder. Back over to you, Charles and Lanry.
Thanks, Red, for wrapping this up so well. I always appreciate your inputs. We also have Julie and Mike Ellis. Julie is going to help us to moderate and bring the people in and out and take the questions. But I also know that Mike has this touch that all he says is a couple of sentences and it just makes so much sense. So Mike, do you want to say something to our guests?
Yeah, no, thanks, Charles. I mean, you and the panel have covered everything in OnPassive. The one thing I would add is really the size of OnPassive. And when we look at all the products of OnPassive, and as we know, there are over 50 products of OnPassive, there are many, many billion-dollar niches that OnPassive is going to fill. And because the products are so good, because they're at a lower price point, as Charles said, the amount of customers that will be coming into OnPassive is going to be unprecedented. And the nice thing about becoming a founding member of OnPassive is that you get to participate in all the wealth that's coming into OnPassive. And as Red said, Ash Mufara, he has a heart to serve. He wants to see us successful. And yes, OnPassive will be sharing the majority of the wealth with the founding members of OnPassive. I think it'll be over 50%, as high as 65%. It's a really exciting time and an exciting place to be to start taking care of those financial needs. And in a very, very short period of time, as a founding member of OnPassive, I just don't think you're going to have to worry about finances. And obviously, that's why we're all here. We want to take care of those financial woes. So excellent presentation, Charles, Red, Marty, everybody that's here. Yeah, you're in the right place at the right time. Take advantage of it and then continue to explore OnPassive. You're going to find that it's even better than what we're talking about. Back to you, Charles. Go ahead. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike, for your input, the Midas touch. All right, Julie, back to you. It's all yours.
That was very lovely, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your knowledge, your wisdom, and let's get the Q&A started. Hello, everyone. My name is Julie. I would like to give you the instruction for the Q&A. First of all, I like to remind everyone this is a guest webinar. We only like to have the guests. We want to reserve for the guests to ask questions. So if you are a guest joining us today, and if you have questions, please click on the raise hand button and I will bring you onto the panel. As soon as you are on the panel, please turn on your camera. But if you are in an area that has low Wi-Fi, you actually can turn off your camera and I will call on you. Once I call on you, you could start asking your questions. So now it is the time to do so. Let me see who is raising hands right now. And this is only for our guest here today. So I'm seeing there are 2 founders on there. So I'm going to go ahead and lower the founder's hand, but I like to bring on the guest. So there it is. Once you receive an invitation to become one of the panelists, please accept it. And please go ahead and ask your questions when I call on you. So let's see. All right, that person is declined to be on. Give me 1 second. Let me bring them on. If you are on the computer, you will see the little circle that's kind of like reeling. Give it a minute and then it will put you on. If you are on a mobile, it will give you 2 choices. One is to become a panelist and the other is to become an attendee. If you want to ask your question, you absolutely can click on the very top choice. Now I see Daniel Oche. Daniel, if you could please unmute your mic and ask your question. Daniel?
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly fine. Please ask your question.
Okay, a friend of mine, we've worked in several places previously, and yesterday he was in my office to introduce this product to me. And I was very reluctant until, if you watch, I logged in very late because I was very, very reluctant over it. But having listened to Charles, Mike, and the rest of you, I think it's a very interesting product I would like to get involved in. But I will need more lectures because obviously I started very late. I hope I'm not going to take us back. I've also seen the email address that where I can get the update and today's message. That is my question. How do I get all these things? And I would like to know when it started, and also how can I get other people involved from my little corner. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. First of all, I wanted to congratulate you for making a decision to be here and listening in. I see that Marty DeGamo has posted an email there. If you like a copy of this presentation today, please send an email to that email. And on the subject line, if you could do all cap recording of a webinar. When you send that over, Marty and one of our friends will send a recording of this presentation to you.
Okay, if I get the email address right, that is onpassivenation@gmail.com, right?
Yes, please send a request to that email.
Okay, thank you very much.
And about the second part of your question, Daniel, you asked how can you get people involved, right? So here's the deal. You get in first, right? By getting back to your friend who invited you, say, hey, I'm interested. The moment you enroll, you pay the $97, you have your own link instantly. That link you can now share with others, right? Now, because you are new, because again, you are still learning. All of us are still learning. I've been here for 2.5 years and I'm still learning. So I can imagine you just coming in, right? What you want to do is invite them to the webinars, share the webinars. And they come just like your friends shared with you. And we as a panel, as a team, together, we can instill upon him or her what this business is all about, how important it is. They decide to join, we'll send them back to you so that you can share a link with them. Okay?
All right. Okay, sorry again, if I'm not asking too many questions. When is it going to be launched? Do we have any specific date or year?
We are in a pre-launch right now. Soft launch is a process, and I'd like to have one of the gentlemen could address that, please. Mike?
Yeah, let me talk about that just for a little bit. We're fortunate enough to be in contact with Ash Mufareh on a pretty regular basis. And talking to Ash, he's very, very excited about where we are. And I'm expecting some really interesting news fairly quick, as Red said. And we right now we're in the pre-launch of OnPassive. That's a time when we can come in and review the products of OnPassive. We're going to be going into soft launch very quickly, Daniel. And as we go into the soft launch, now not only will we be able to review the products, but we'll be able to use the products. And then from there, it'll be a short period of time where we go into the global launch. So you've come in at an opportune time. The time frame between you joining and the worldwide launch of OnPassive, it's very, very short. So you're in at a good time. Hopefully that helps.
Okay, thank you very much.
Daniels, do you have any other questions?
Okay, for now, I think I'll have to, let me keep it until next webinar. Let other people contribute and ask questions too.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Please send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com so you can have the recording of this presentation. And once you listen to that one more time, I do hope that it will answer a lot of your questions as well. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. Up next, I'd like to have Charles Jacob. Charles, if you are there, if you could please unmute your mic and ask your question or turn on your camera if it's allowed. We can see you unmute your mic. There you go, Charles.
Yeah, actually, good evening and good morning, depending on where we are. I'm in Nigeria. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I was invited by my friend in California, and there's no single regret about it. But then the question I want to ask, Daniel has handled it and you have answered about the bringing in persons to show the opportunity. It has been thoroughly handled, so I'm satisfied. No further question. Thank you.
Charles, congratulations for being here. Your action that you take today, you will never regret. Anyone would like to respond to what Charles is saying today?
He said he doesn't have a question, so we wanted to congratulate you for being here, and hopefully you'll be part of the team. And I want to say this to you, both you and Daniel, who just asked a moment ago. Should you guys decide to be part of us before Monday, we do have a founders only webinar on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And believe me, you'll get tons of proprietary information. Of course, you are new, so you won't have a lot of questions, but you will hear from others, founders who have been around for some time, asking questions. You assimilate and you will learn a lot. And I can guarantee you after that meeting, you will have sleepless nights. So be prepared for it, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. And
Okay.
if you like to listen to this presentation again, Charles, I encourage you to send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com. Every time when I
I've
listen
already
to the
done that.
presentation.
I've
Oh,
already done that.
good
I've
for
sent my
you.
email already.
Good job. Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let's see, who do we have next? I just moved someone to the panel and he is not responding. So let's wait for him. In the meantime, let me take a look at the chat to see if we have any questions that goes there. A lot of the questions has been addressed by other founders. You know, I don't see any questions out there. You both, all of you gentlemen, you have done such an awesome job.
All right.
Now we have only one hand raised. Mr. Lawrence M., if you would please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Hi, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi. Hey, I'm Lawrence calling from Finland, and I tend to be skeptical about these kinds of initiatives, and so bear with me. I have a couple of questions. So first of all, what is the reason? Like, why do you co-founders want more co-founders? Like, I do understand that you guys have big hearts and all, but I'm not biting. But so, what is it? Why would you want more? Sorry. Why would you want more co-founders to join OnPassive? And secondly, if I were to become a co-founder, what is it that we are waiting for? Is it the launch, or is it when we become public, then we can sell shares? Or what is it? What would we be waiting for as co-founders? And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we got your question, Mr. Lawrence, but I know Red is going to take it. I just want to say one thing before Red takes it, right? So Lawrence, I know you just said you are skeptical about these kind of initiatives. All I want to say to you is that there has never been this kind of initiative ever, 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 okay? Do not compare this with maybe the online stuff. I don't know if you were here in the beginning. The main difference between those ones that disappear, okay, and this one is that they don't have viable products. That is key, okay? And this I'm telling you from more than 30 years of experience. You go back to any of those companies that come and disappear, you look at what products they have, they don't have it. But now look at a company like Google. Do you think Google is gonna go anywhere anytime soon? I don't think so. Do you think Zoom is gonna go anywhere anytime soon? Those are digital products I'm calling to you. I don't think so. What about Facebook? Is it gonna go anywhere anytime soon? I don't think so. All these different businesses, YouTube, okay, all these businesses, we are combining them in one place and integrating them. So we're not going anywhere. It has never been done. So it is not one of those kind of initiatives. Now I'm gonna go back to Red so he can respond to your question.
Okay, Lawrence, good questions, by the way. And I completely understand your skepticism, your nervousness. We've all been there, mate. We've all had our fingers burnt in one way, shape or form. So when new things come our way, then we're naturally going to be a bit skeptical about them. The one thing I will say before I actually go on to your question about the founders is that, did you know that you can pay by Visa and MasterCard? I told you that, and you're covered by the Visa and MasterCard guarantee for that anyway. But also on top of that, which hasn't been mentioned yet, but I will tell you and the rest of the guests who are here now as well, is your founder's fee, that $97, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee from the company. So you can actually physically dip your toe in the water, have a look around. If it's not for you, then you contact support, say, sorry, it's not for me. You get your money back and we part our ways. No hard feelings. So that should help to alleviate you slightly of what we are doing here. We actually do not need any more founders than we have got. We didn't need a lot more founders a long time ago, but Ashmu Farah, our CEO, has continued to allow us to get more founders on board, to be able to share this opportunity with as many people as possible before we launch, because the day we launch, okay, there is not any more founders. That's it. It's over with. You can then only become a customer or stroke reseller after that. So you're probably thinking, well, why don't I wait then and become a customer and reseller after? What is the advantage of me being a founder now? Which is probably a good question as well. Every single founder now will become a customer and reseller when we launch. So we're in a major position now where we are going to be launching with around about 900,000 plus customers, resellers from day one. No other company, online or offline, has ever launched with that many people buying their products and services from day one. But what we're doing for you as a founder, and the reason the door is still open, is because we haven't launched. So our CEO said, you know what? Let's get as many people involved as possible, because it's only going to benefit the founders even more by more people coming in until we get to that stage when we launch. We are in the pre-launch process, which means we are testing the products to make sure they are fit for purpose. This is a very important thing to do. There is no point in launching earlier when we're not quite ready, because if the whole thing crashes, it doesn't work, then that's what's going to happen to that. Everyone has egg on their face. It doesn't work like we want it to work, and that's not benefiting us, the founders, or the customers. But the benefit of being a founder is you get access to the back office, you get access to lots and lots of information, plus you can pre-grow a team if you want to. Remember, you do not have to, because OnPassive are going to do everything for you, 100% automated. But if you have the mindset to be able to share this opportunity with other people, there is going to be tangible reasons financially to do that for founders, okay? So that's why the door of the foundership is still open. It will be closing on the day of launch. After that, it is only going to be customers and resellers. And there is a lot of other reasons as well, by the way, which you will find out when you join, to being a founder. I hope that has gone some way of A, alleviating your worries, Lawrence, and B, giving an explanation to why there is more founders being looked for at the moment.
Thank you, Red. That's a beautiful answer. A lot of details. Lawrence, how are you doing? Does that clear out some of your question? You're skeptical. Do you have any other question for us?
Not really at this moment. No, I don't. But no, it doesn't answer my questions quite. I do understand what you're saying and about the product, but I mean, you guys don't have a product yet. It's only after the launch, then you have a product. Now you have a.
Okay,
yeah.
I want to address that. That's a very good question. Until we launch, we don't have a product. You as a founder, though, will be beta testing these products before we go to launch. So then you will see the products that we have, because we as founders will be using them before the customers do. Now, the choice is absolutely yours. We are not here to persuade anybody. We're not here. We don't actually need any more founders. But what we are doing is giving you the opportunity to become a founder. You can wait if you want to. It's absolutely no skin off our nose whatsoever for you to wait to become a customer and reseller. It won't make any difference. OnPassive is going to launch. OnPassive is going to be there, and it's your choice of what you want to do. So you have to make a $97 decision, and that is the bottom line, that you become a founder at $97, and then you then have all the benefits of being a founder. But once that door closes, when we launch, you will never have that opportunity again to become a founder. It's a bit like saying you're a founder of Microsoft, or you're a founder of Google, or you're a founder of any of these companies that are now multi-billion-dollar companies around the world. Before they launched, they were all looking for people to join them on their journey. You've all heard the stories of Mark Zuckerberg in the rooms at his university asking people to join him, and they said no. This is exactly the same sort of things. We have viable products and services that every single person who uses the internet now will have a reason to come to OnPassive. Okay, you can make that decision to be with us as a founder or not. It's as simple as that. So I suggest you go to onpassive.com as well. Okay, get yourself engrossed in all of the products and services that are there, go to the FAQs, do an in-depth, okay, analysis of all of them, of what we have got here and what you have got the opportunity to get your hands on as a founder as well.
Thank you, Red. Can I just add something, and not just for him, but for any other guest? So yes, he's right. We don't have a product. Well, partially, we do have a product. It's just not yet open to the public. We do have our products. We have products that have been completed. Some of us have used OTRIM in India. Our staff, they are using our human resource product, which is not open to the public. Now, every company out there, technology company or not, but mostly technology company, they have products, but those products are available to the public only when they launch. Zoom, for example, we are speaking on Zoom. Eric Wan, the founder of Zoom, 2007, he left Cisco WebEx and they started developing Zoom, the application, with a few friends. They did not have a product until April 21st, 2011. To the public, they did not have a product, okay? To they were working behind it, they had a product, they could see it. So it's the same thing with OnPassive, my friend. We do have products. You as a guest, you just don't know about it yet, right? So if you join, you will see it, you will test it. But you can wait though, just like Red just said, right? You're welcome to wait. All these companies out there, you see Zoom or Amazon, all of them. There are people who got involved in the beginning. There are people who waited until the launch so that they can see it, the Thomases. The difference is in their bank accounts, okay? So you can wait if you want to.
How are you doing, Lawrence? Are you clear? Do you have more questions that you like to ask?
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to answer my questions. Well, I'm sure over time I will get to know more, and yeah, so I'm sure all my questions cannot be answered today. They haven't been answered. I don't think they can be answered today. So
no. Lawrence, yeah. What question do you have? Let me answer them for you. Maybe
so, right. So again, so in the beginning, I was again, what I was trying to ask is that, so when the product is, or when you eventually get the product out there in the public, because that's when you actually make money, not now when you have it in your, on wherever you have it, but when it actually goes out to the public. So when do we, as founders, when do we start benefiting from that? Like, how do we start when it goes public? Or is it when it goes public or when it is launched? Like, how do we start getting back? You mentioned a one-way stream at some point. Now, okay, after we pay, and when it goes public and we make the second installment or the second payment, when do we start? Like, at what point do we start getting money? So that's the first one. Hey,
right,
sorry.
Let's do them one at a time. One at a time, please.
Okay,
because
sure.
When you bundle them up, you might end up saying we didn't answer. So let's do them one at a time, and I'll take them for you, okay? All right. So I said when we go public, we're going to come out to one time out of pocket about $250. I believe Red said that, not me, but that's what it is, right? So here's what that does for us, because we are a subscription-based company, okay? So what that does, it makes you a customer. All of us founders will eventually become customers. Now, what OnPassive does with that money, you're going to use that money, build a website for each and every one of us, you, me, Marty, Mike, all of us here. We'll get that website, and those products that I mentioned to you, those digital products, are going to be placed on that website, and OnPassive is going to be driving traffic, meaning targeted traffic, people looking for these products and services. And if they come to your website, they are tagged to you. The moment they say, hey, this is great services, lower price point, I want to subscribe, they subscribe through your website, they become your customer, and you get commission each time somebody subscribes through your website. Now, as far as when we're going to start making money, depends on if you pre-build or not. For example, I just said all of us will be customers because we pay that one-time fee. What if OnPassive launches, say, tomorrow, and you, Lawrence, you have nobody in your team, no problem. And then Julie here has been, sharing and has 500 people in her team. Let's just stay on that. Day one upon launch, AI traffic goes to work. Start bringing in customers to everybody. Bringing in customers to you, bringing in customers to Julie, plus to 500 other founders that Julie has brought into the business. Number one, those 500 customers or founders are gonna pay that one-time fee. So Julie already has customers from day one. Julie starts collecting profit from day one. You, however, because you have 0 customers, you have to wait for AI traffic to go out there and bring customers, position them under you, and then you start collecting. So it might take you 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks to start seeing money. But at the end of the day, it is immediate, depending on how many customers you have going into main or public launch. I hope that answers question 1.
Actually, it leads to question 1A. But hey, sorry, if I'm taking too much time.
No, fine.
Yeah,
I'm very patient. Go to question 1A.
Yeah, right.
All of them one at a time. Go to question 1A.
Yeah, so but just to mention that if I'm taking too much time, please just let me know.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I have all day for you, my friend.
All right, thank you.
I like you. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. All right, so so the next question then is that, and you mentioned earlier that and this is where I'd say that it's kind of like the other businesses or the other initiatives, that therefore at some point it's not enough that I just have an account or whatever, a founder ID. I have to then go ahead and build a team. So it doesn't end anyways. It's not.
Okay, so let me address that first of all.
Just a second, sir. So and you mentioned earlier that I don't have to do anything else, but still, from what I understand, so I understood at some point you guys are currently 850,000 about a community. So there will be about 850 instances, customers from which a product can be purchased. And therefore, if I don't go out and try to build a team and increase my chances that someone actually uses me as the portal to the product, therefore, I still end up at the point where I'm either not making enough money, and therefore I still have to go like the other businesses, and this is where this comes in, and look for a team and build a team so I could actually make money worth retiring from my, from corporate world.
All right. So let me go back to
Hey, Charles, let me jump in just a second, okay? Let's make this very, very simple, Lawrence. OnPassive is exactly what they say. They are passive. So as you come in, understand that you're putting OnPassive to work for you. And what they're going to do is they're going to come in, they're going to build the marketing system, they're going to hook it up to AI, they're going to drive traffic for you, and they're going to bring the customers in for you. So when you think about what you have to do, you don't have to recruit, you don't have to sell, you don't have to share, you don't have to do any of that. Because of what OnPassive is going to be doing for all of us, and because of the sheer volume that they're going to be bringing in, you will make money. They guarantee that. You will be forced to be successful because of the way they're structured. So when you think about OnPassive and what you have to do, really all you have to do is participate. And then the reason we're here is to put them to work for us, okay? So when you think about these other companies that you have to come in and you have to sell, you have to recruit, you have to bring people in order to maintain your status and get paid, that is not OnPassive. We have no qualifications in OnPassive, Lawrence. It's the way it's been structured. It really is the genius behind OnPassive. So as you think about OnPassive, 100% automated, and when you talk about making money in OnPassive, obviously, we don't guarantee anything. This is the real world, but based on what OnPassive has done, the research they've done, they believe the first year they'll bring in about 100 million customers. Those customers go under you and I. Okay, how many will you get? Obviously, we can't tell you right up front, but believe me, you won't have to worry about that second month payment because the money will be there to take care of take care of those payments. Again, you go out of pocket once, you'll never have to go out of pocket again. And from there, you'll start to build income, residual income, and wealth online. So hopefully that kind of puts it in perspective, Lawrence. You're going to have a lot of questions, and all your questions are good. And if that didn't quite do it for you, ask another one. And this panel, it can answer any question you have. Go ahead, Lawrence.
So thanks, Mike. I think I know what's going in his head, because he started off by saying, and that's why I said this is like the other initiative. So let me explain the difference between OnPassive and any MLM. Okay, that'll kind of set things aside, you know. So any MLM company out there, okay, and there are good companies. We're not saying MLM is not good. It is good. It works. Okay, but a lot of us don't succeed. They say 2-3% of them succeed. Why? Because a lot of us cannot recruit. Okay, if you're an MLM company, the people that come in, if they don't recruit or they don't sell, they're not going to make 1 penny. End of story. 1 penny. Because they must recruit and or sell. With OnPassive is going to recruit and sell on our behalf. But here's the difference for those of us who share. First of all, I share because I love people. I love my family. I love my friends. I don't share with people I don't know. I don't go to Facebook or whatever. No, I don't. Only to people I care about. That's number one. Number two, here's what happens. When OnPassive launches, I'll give you an example. Let's say we are 1 million founders when they launch, 1 million of us. They're going to distribute customers, say, in cycles. Cycle number 1. Let's just say they come in and they give each of us 10 customers and or resellers. So that means we're going to make money on 10 customers each, right? But that is a cycle. It might take 1 month to do that, or 2 months to do that. And then it goes to cycle number 2. But in the interim, that it takes 1 month or 2 months, I have decided to share and bring more people in. So instead of 10 customers, maybe I have 20, right? And you just wait for it to come back. So I'm going to get commission on 20 customers. You're going to get on 10 customers. If you are on any MLM business or any business, they're not going to pay you. But OnPassive is already paying you on 10 customers that they brought to you. And then they come back to another cycle and give you 10 more customers. And each of your 10 customers that are there get customers and you get paid. So that number compounds over time. And over a period of time, without you talking to anybody, you are making enough money to keep you financially free. It doesn't matter what job you do right now. You're going to make more money than whatever job you are doing. I can assure you that, without talking to one person. It's just that those who happen to share will make a little more, much faster, because on top of what AI gives them, they are also bringing theirs on top of it. That's all. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Mike. I like to say this one thing very short. Lawrence, I know skepticism sometimes disable us to think further. So all I ask you is remove everything, or remove yourself from this past situation, the companies that we've been through. Just remove yourself from there and start it very fresh. OnPassive is a very fresh, it's never been done before. And if you think about OnPassive business for you, or OnPassive itself, it is a business. It has its own product, it's creating its own products, and it has its own customers. So if you think about a business that has customer, that has product, what's the magic of it? When the customer coming in using the products that everyone is looking to use every single day. And if that happens, what is going to happen to your business? You'll be bringing in lots of profits, right? So I like you to think of it as that. A business, a real business that is licensed and registered, has a lot of products that everyone needs, and already have over 800,000 that are going to become customer, that are already a customer. So I like you to think it that way, Lawrence, if it helped. I wonder if that's
let's see
clear.
if it's clear. Lawrence, What do you think? Are you still having doubts?
Well, I'm of course as biased as my experiences go, but I assure you that I am objective enough to really want to know the answers to this question. So don't worry about it. I am really, I'm not trying to disprove here. I'm just really trying to understand how this works. So, and if it works for me, it's something that I would want to try. But sorry, but now one other thing again that I was wondering about, for most, and I know you guys have talked about this, we want to share because the co-founder or the CEO has a big heart and you want to share this initiative. But again, for each, like for every other business, that for each new member that you get, the pool gets diluted, right? So if we say your example, 1,000 people and there's only so much resources that will be shared amongst the 1,000 people, for each new member that you get, that resource gets diluted. So instead of 10, instead of 10 members that you get, you would get less. So again, my question is, and I still do not understand this, why are you guys?
We're losing you, Lawrence. Lawrence, you still there?
Julie, if he's still
Yeah,
there,
so-
I understood the question. I mean, why are we sharing OnPassive with other people? We're doing that because it's what we do. We've been doing this for years and years and years. And as your organization grows, each individual that comes into your organization is another stream of revenue. And that stream of revenue, as you bring people in, does not go down. We make the same amount, whether we bring them in or the people we bring them in, we still make the same amount of money. But the bottom line is the majority of the people in OnPassive, they do not do anything. They are passive, okay? That's the majority of OnPassive. Not everybody shares, not everybody wants to build an organization. And that's perfectly fine because we will all get to that place of financial independence. It's just that the individuals that have the inclination to build an organization, a team, they'll just get there a little quicker. But OnPassive was made for the average individual to come in and prosper online. So hopefully that was the gist of your question. And we're sorry we missed you. Hopefully you heard this. Julie, go ahead.
Well, the thing is,
Mike,
yeah. No, I was gonna say thank you so much, Mike. He cannot get all the answers in one day. He's one of those kind of people I think needs to go back, either pay $97, get more information and get 30 days to look at it, or decide to look at it first and then pay $97 and come later. That's all. We are here.
And it's very good for those individuals that are looking today at OnPassive. All of these questions are very, very good. We usually don't get that many with one person, but they're all very, very good questions.
Right. So, and we are not here to convince, we're here to give information, give you the clarity. If you have some things bugging you, blocking your mind, hey, you can come back, you can get more information. We have founders only webinars. Like I just said, those of you who are gonna come in before 2 p.m. Monday, you come on the founders only webinars and you will see some things that will blow your mind away, okay? So regular people do not understand this concept. So if you don't understand it, it's okay. You are regular. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay. But we
were all regular at one time, Charles.
At one point in time, exactly. It's nothing wrong with you. But as you get to know more about it, you will understand it. That's all.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Mike. I do hope that the one that invite Lawrence here be able to send a message or send this recording to him so he can hear the rest of the answer. And if he has any more questions, he absolutely can attend our next webinar as well. Daniel, I see you are back. Do you have other questions for us to answer? Daniel Che?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you.
I want to find out, one, when is this webinar going to end? I mean, this evening, because I have some other meeting to attend to.
No, we're done. We're just taking questions. I mean, if you have to go, you can go. We're just taking questions.
Okay.
All right.
Then secondly, once the payment is made, what is the mode of receipt that we're going to receive to show that yes, we've made a payment? My third question is,
let's do the second question, then you go to the third one.
Say again.
Let's do the second question, then you go to the third one. Okay. Let's do them one at a time, right?
All
so
right.
If you pay by credit Visa card, like Red said earlier, you already have the guarantee of MasterCard, Visa card. That's number one. So that's a receipt. Okay, that's a guarantee. If you use your bank card or check card, that's a receipt. Secondly, OnPassive has a digital receipt for you, which you can print out if you want to. Okay, so once you make that payment, immediately there is a digital receipt in your back office, invoice. You can go there, you can look at it, you can leave it digital like me, if you're a digital person, or if you're somebody who is traditional, hit print, and you can print it out and you have a receipt.
Okay, then thirdly, I want to ask, does OnPassive have any physical address in
we do have it. I want to say, first of all, that's a good question, but I want to say, first of all, we do have it, but secondly, it is not important. Why is it not important? Most companies, tech companies like Apple, Steve Jobs started in his garage. Okay, most big companies, as long as it's digital, you don't need a physical office. However, we decided to be brick and mortar. Okay, we have a physical presence in Florida, which is our headquarters, administrative, and then we have a big building in Bangalore. If you were here in the beginning, I mean, sorry, not Bangalore, but Hyderabad, high-tech city in India, right? So if you were here in the beginning, I said we started off in Bangalore, renting 2 floors. Now, all of a sudden, if you see the building behind me, that's a physical building, right? That's our building right there in Hyderabad. So we have more than 200 engineers and other staff members working to make these things happen. But I just want to go back to say, because we decided to be different, that has nothing to do with the production. When I came in, when Mike Ellis came in, we did not have it. But here's where we are today. Okay, so yes, we do have it to answer to your question.
All right, but not anywhere in West Africa.
No, but we don't have an office in West Africa. Facebook, of course, is everywhere in the world. Doesn't have an office in West Africa. Just
they do.
Well, but they got presence. We're going to have presence as OnPassive. We'll have presence.
Facebook has office in Nigeria.
Okay, so what I'm saying is they did not have it from day one. Okay.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we at OnPassive, we plan to have presence everywhere there's a founder. We will have a presence. Okay.
You know, the reason why I'm asking this question is because I'm sure you are aware of what is happening in Nigeria with the Nigerian government and Twitter. So Nigerian government is putting up a policy to regulate every media space to make sure if you're going to do business in Nigeria and make gains, you have to register in Nigeria. Does OnPassive have any plan in the future to register with Nigerian government?
Like OnPassive is registering with everywhere there's a founder. Okay.
But have they started any move of registering in Nigeria? That's what I'm asking.
So there is no need to register in Nigeria unless you have a presence and office there. Okay. When that time comes, we will register. So that doesn't mean that if like Google, for example. So if you're in Nigeria, you cannot use Google.
Google has office in Nigeria.
Okay. So that's what I'm telling you that. But even before Google had office, people were able to use Google in Nigeria. I know that for a fact. So what I'm saying is OnPassive will have registration wherever it is needed in the world. Just rest assured.
Yeah, my particular the reason why I'm asking is because of the latest regulations concerning media stuff like OnPassive. You know, federal government have said if you don't have if you're not registered in Nigeria, you will not do such business. So that's
what I'm telling you. That don't relax. We have lawyers who are working on it. Everywhere that we have to register, we will be registered. That's not for you to worry about. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, so those are the few questions I have. If I have any, I'll post it on the address. And thank you so much for answering the questions. I have to go now.
Not a problem. Take care.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Charles. Up next, I see Priscilla. Priscilla, are you there with us? Please unmute your mic and ask your question. Priscilla, I see you have.
Hi, yeah,
Hello.
come on. I'm a listener right now. And I like the questions that the others are asking, Lawrence and the other guy that just left. Those are very important questions. But I know that you said when you join OnPassive as a founder, like you could like pass on your wealth. So at what point can you pass on like your OnPassive like to your children and stuff like that?
Mike?
Yeah, Priscilla, OnPassive is willable. So whoever you want to leave the wealth that you develop in OnPassive, whoever you want to leave that to, you can put that in your will, and that is binding. OnPassive will respect that. So it's very, very easy to do. And obviously, when the money starts coming into OnPassive, you're going to have the money to get an attorney, do a will, and direct those funds wherever you'd like to. So very, very simple thing to do, Priscilla.
Okay, all right. So like I have like family members that right now I'm putting in. So at what point do I like get that, like right now they're all under me. Like I like created emails for them and stuff. So at what point do I give them those
Priscilla, it sounds like you're a founder. That's okay. I'll answer this question. If you want additional positions for your family and you're going to pay those positions, keep those positions in your name until you've paid the $250 for them. From there, you can transfer them when you're ready. Okay?
Okay.
And Priscilla, you can come on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right? And if you come every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, believe me, you will not have questions. You wouldn't have had these questions if you have been participating, but maybe you are new, so who knows? What you need to do is come every Monday and you'll be just fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Priscilla. Let's wrap it up, everyone. We do have one hand raised, but he's denied to jump on to the panel. That's all we have for today. Everyone, if you'd like to have the recording of this presentation, please send an email to onpassivenation@gmail.com and request for this recording, and you'll have one. All right. And if you are new founders or if you are a guest, please listen to this presentation. The more you listen, the more you will understand. And please be patient as you come on to one of these webinars. You will be able to learn so much more. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Mike. All the panelists today, you have done such a fantastic job. As always, please stay well, stay healthy, stay alive, and take care of yourself and take care of others. Good night, everyone.
Our next webinar for guests is on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's for guests. If you are a guest here today and you join, you can invite your loved ones for next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's it. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for being here, panel.
We actually have a meeting in person as well, Charles, on Tuesday in the DMV area.
Right, same Tuesday. Yeah, that will be a physical meeting on Tuesday in Best Western in Lanham. For those of you who are in the DMV area, we're going to put in the back office the address. I believe Julie already did. Right, Julie? Okay. Yes. So if you want to meet with us physically, please feel free. Okay. It's already paid for, and there's going to be some refreshments, lots of food and drinks. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great one. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Sorry, Charles, I got to throw this in. If you like to meet, it's going to be a Best Western in the city of Lanham in Maryland. I don't have it handy, but if you ask anyone that invited you here, you'll be able to have the information. And if you are founders, I will post once again in the Leadership Council tab. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
All right, guys, take care.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.